Jason, um, I introduced you as, the president and founder of Hollywood Unlocked and a media mogul and just all of the things that you do in the entertainment world. But over the last year or so, he's become someone that I'm close with, have a tremendous amount of respect for. And there are a couple of reasons for that. Now, Jason, every person that's been here so far, you're the closing interview.
You always say Beyonce for last, so.
So is that you, Beyonce?
I'm the Beyonce of the internet. Yeah, I run the world. That's my thing.
I think that's actually true. But I've told them all, I brought you here to ask you one question in front of these people. And I've told you this many times, you have the strongest ability to manifest your reality of anyone I've ever met. And the question I want to ask you is, if you read his book, within literally the first 3 pages, you read about the first time you witnessed a murder. Mm-hmm. And you grew up in Stockton, California, in the foster care system and experienced lots of really hard things. How did you develop the ability to become the Jason Lee we see today that is as successful as you are in the business and entertainment world, as true and solid as to who you are as a person? Like, how do you start there and get here?
Every time he asks that, I laugh because I don't know any other choice. Like, I grew up, like you say, in the foster care system. For me, it's survival. Like, how do you survive, like, stranger care? How do you survive going to a school with not knowing people and not knowing, like, they're going home to their families, you're going home to a group of people that are paid to manage you. Like, for me, it was always about survival. So, starting with my mom, who's on drugs, as she gradually got deeper into drugs, I started seeing, like, our world started changing. So we had a well-furnished house, and then the furniture starts leaving, and then the Christmases are there, and then Christmases start going away. Now you're in a motel, now you're in a foster care. So, like, for me, as things started changing around me, I just initially just knew that survival was something that I had to figure out. So just over the course of my life, I've just gone through so many different things. I think it was like when my brother died at 19, I saw him get murdered. That was, I think, like the worst thing that I could experience, because, go to foster care, yeah, you miss your family, but you can still get on the phone, you can still see them, there's still visitation, so they're still there. But when you're hanging out with somebody that you love the most, and then they get taken from you without you planning that and having to process all of that in real time and all of that, to me, that was like rock bottom. So I didn't really feel like anything else. In my mind, I just started switching my mind and said, look, I already went through the worst. So no matter what happens now, lose a job, lose a relationship, lose a friend, lose an opportunity or whatever, I've already lost the worst thing. So again, started kicking into, the whole idea that I had to figure out survival. So when people say, oh, I can't believe, I think one of our first sessions, you said, somebody like you should be either on drugs, in prison, or dead. I was like, damn, that was kind of brutal. But I've worked on the other side of it. I became a probation officer thinking like helping kids who are like me would be, that's the way. And then I realized that like, slavery, Jim Crow, prison systems, there's like a thread between all of that, and that really wasn't designed to help people that look like me, so I left that. Then I became a union leader, started working in unions to help people. And then they shifted their priorities, and I realized working for somebody just didn't make sense, because how do you survive in stuff that you just can't control? So I started my own business so I can control my own world. So when people say, oh, I don't know why you aren't in this way, I've had every example of why I don't want to be that. Mom was a drug crackhead, don't want to be that. Dad was an absent father, don't want to have kids if I'm not ready to raise them right. I've had all the examples of what not to be, so like to become that would be crazy.